Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. Starting strong with a masterpiece. Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, a JRPG at heart, but instead of the usual Japanese flair, we've got French vibes and a dash of dark magic. The story's set in a Belle Époque-inspired world where, once a year, a mysterious painter wakes up, writes a number on a monolith, and everyone that age turns to dust. This time, she wrote 33. So now, Expedition 33, a team from the town of Lumiere, sets out to end this nightmare and hunt down the brush-wielding maniac. You play as Gustav, an engineer with a sick mechanical arm, and his crew, who are just trying to survive and figure out what the hell's going on. Gameplay's turn-based with real-time elements. The key mechanic: active defense, especially parrying. This isn't just holding a button, you need perfect timing. Nail it, and you not only block the attack but earn extra action points or even a brutal counter. It feels Souls-like, except here, even reading enemy attacks is a puzzle. Some boss moves are just unpredictable, good luck figuring those out. But hey, it's weirdly fun. Visually, mind-blowing. Unreal Engine 5 brings everything to life, from lush landscapes to creepy caves, like stepping into a painting. And get this, it's made by a tiny team of 30 people, many ex-Ubisoft, who somehow outdid Assassin's Creed with a fraction of the budget. A total masterpiece, don't miss it. Drive Beyond Horizons. Next up, Drive Beyond Horizons. Imagine Mad Max meets SnowRunner, with survival elements in an open world. The story's light, you're just a nameless driver roaming procedurally generated deserts, forests, and plains. Your goal: keep your ride alive, scavenge resources, and maybe find something valuable in the wreckage. The real stories come from moments like outrunning sandstorms or fixing a tire in the rain. Gameplay's a mix of driving, survival, and crafting, balancing speed and durability. The big draw: vehicle customization. You're not just slapping on upgrades, you're building your car from literal scrap. Find a rusty van door. Bolt it on. Dig up an old V8 engine. Sweet, but it'll guzzle fuel. Every part affects physics, weight, handling, off-road capability. Make the wrong call, and your ride's either stuck or falling apart. It's a constant puzzle, power versus efficiency. Graphics are solid, with dynamic weather, sunsets, storms, fog, making every drive immersive. It's from a small dev team, but they nailed the adventure in every mile. Just know optimization's a little rough sometimes, but when you're tearing through the desert in your junk-built monster, it barely matters. White Knuckle. Now, let's talk about White Knuckle, a uniquely stylish and intense experience. Think Mirror's Edge, but darker, faster, and with a roguelike twist. The story drops you into Substructure 17, a rusted, hopeless underground complex. You play as an unnamed fugitive labeled unidentified by the system, and your goal is simple: climb to the surface before something unspeakable catches you. The lore unfolds through scattered floppy disk recordings and announcements hinting at some beast that ruined everything down here. Gameplay is all about high-speed first-person parkour, grabbing ledges, leaping gaps, and using whatever junk you find to avoid plummeting into the abyss. The key mechanic: one-handed inventory management. Want to eat beans for stamina? Gotta let go of a ledge. Need to hammer in a climbing hook? Same deal. Every choice is a nerve-wracking gamble: do I heal now or risk falling to my death? It's genius, forcing tension into every move. Visually, it's stylish lo-fi with pixel art textures and rusted corridors straight out of a vintage horror flick. Still in early access, but with 98% positive Steam reviews, and for good reason. The inventory mechanic alone, plus the mix of terror and adrenaline, makes it a must-try. Deadzone Rogue. Next up, Deadzone Rogue, a fast-paced FPS roguelike where you blast through derelict spaceship sectors, from engine rooms to prison blocks, fighting spiders, robots, drones, and bosses the size of a space station. The plot: You wake up on a military ship overrun by mechanical freaks, with no memory of who you are, classic indie dev move. Story takes a back seat, told through environmental logs and terminals, but the real star is the weapon modding system. Turn a shotgun into a black hole cannon or mod an assault rifle to spew ice storms. With 30+ guns and hundreds of mods, every run feels fresh. One round you're zapping enemies with lightning, the next you're drowning them in fire. It's not just about upgrades, it's survival, adapting to enemy types on the fly. Graphics are grim but gripping. Unreal Engine 5 nails the atmosphere with flickering lights, corroded hallways, and a pulse-pounding soundtrack. A few bugs here and there, but nothing that kills the fun. Kiborg. And finally, Kiborg, yeah, the name's dumb, but the game delivers. You're Morgan Lee, a wrongly convicted prisoner trapped on planet Sigva, where death just respawns you thanks to cloning. The twist? You're starring in a dystopian reality show called The Last Ticket, fight through mutants and gangs to reach the escape shuttle, all while a mutant announcer with a Texan drawl heckles your kills. Gameplay is brutal melee combat, fists, axes, guns, you name it. The hook? Cybernetics. Like Cyberpunk, but meaner. Slot implants to resurrect on death, or equip flaming exolegs that ignite enemies when you dodge. With dozens of implants, each build changes your playstyle, turning Morgan into a walking tank. Visually, it's solid, bright arenas, gory effects, though level design feels a bit Xbox 360 corridor-ish. Still, a blast if you love build experimentation. Memoriapolis. Let's shift gears to something grand, Memoriapolis. Imagine cities, skylines meet civilization, but focused on a single, living metropolis evolving over 2,500 years of history. You start as a tiny hunter's camp in antiquity and, if you play your cards right, end up with a gleaming capital by the Enlightenment, or even the Industrial Revolution. There's no hero's journey here. Instead, you're a dynastic strategist balancing resources, politics, and the ambitions of your citizens to keep the city from collapsing under the weight of time. Historical events, like plagues or invasions, throw wrenches into your plans, while wonders like the pyramids or Eiffel Tower cement your legacy. Gameplay is a city-building sandbox with 4x strategy elements. Roads and districts form organically, no rigid grids, shaped by the needs of your people. The key mechanic? Managing factions and cultures. Pick from 6 cultures, military, religious, trade, etc., each altering architecture and spawning factions with their own agendas. Let a faction grow too powerful, and they might revolt, or overthrow you. It's like chess, but the pieces argue back. Visually, it's gorgeous, a diorama-style city that evolves through eras, like a living model. Badlands Crew. Next, Badlands Crew, Mad Max meets combat racing, dialed to 11. You're a defender of the Citadel, humanity's last stronghold, fighting through wastelands ruled by psychotic gangs to take down their leader, the Orator. Story drips in through radio chatter and environmental lore, painting a world gone mad, where you're just another cog trying to survive. Gameplay is a roguelike strategy with real-time combat and micromanagement. Build and customize your war rig, command your crew, and dodge sandstorms, or giant worms, Dune style. The star of the show. Deep vehicle customization. Every part, armor, engines, flamethrowers, med bays, affects balance and survivability. Make the wrong call, and your rig might drive itself off a cliff. It's LEGO meets post-apocalyptic chaos. Graphics are minimalist but vibrant, with stark desert landscapes. Reviews praise its intensity, and the sheer fun of tuning a death machine. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Fatal Fury is back, like an old friend who spent 26 years in the gym and returned as a tank. Set decades after the last game, the story dives into the legacy of Geese Howard in a gritty southern city. You play Rock Howard, adoptive son of Terry Bogard, untangling his past through arcade and episode modes, each fighter's story weaving revenge, redemption, and Mortal Kombat-style drama. Gameplay is 2.5D fighting, fast, technical, with plane switching like classic Fatal Fury. The new REV system lets you unleash powered-up attacks early, but overheat your REV gauge, turning fights into high-risk gambles. Push too hard, and you're left defenseless. It's aggression versus patience, with flashy Unreal Engine 4 visuals, though not UE5, likely for optimization. Animations ooze love for the franchise. Conquest Dark. Think Vampire Survivors, but with physics and Gothic flair. Conquest Dark drops you into a world ruined 237 years ago by the Black Planet. Undead hordes rule, gods are dead, and you're a laborer wielding dark rituals to fight back. Gameplay is top-down roguelike ARPG meets bullet hell. Slash through skeletons, or cosmic horrors, across 13 maps, crafting builds in minutes. The hook? Hybrid class building. Mix 20 weapons and 45 skills to create absurd combos, like a meteor summoning bow or flamesword whirlwinds. Graphics are moody, gothic ruins, cursed wastelands, with spell effects that pop. It stands out in a crowded genre. Blueprints. Don't let the name fool you, Blueprints isn't some dramatic love story. It's a first-person roguelike puzzle game where you don't just explore a mansion, you literally build it as you go. And no, it's not a construction sim. Here's the deal. You play as 14-year-old Simon Jones, inheriting Mount Holly estate from your uncle. The catch? To claim your inheritance, you need to find a mysterious 46th room in a house that's only supposed to have 45. The story unfolds through notes, puzzles, and environmental clues hinting at family secrets, political intrigue, and a missing children's author. Gameplay-wise, each day starts in the foyer where you draft rooms behind doors, the core mechanic. Open a door and choose between 3 room types, maybe a bedroom, greenhouse, or boiler room. Each room is a puzzle with different exits, granting resources, keys, gems, or costing movement points. You're essentially an architect building a maze, make wrong choices and you'll hit dead ends, ending your run. But it's not pure randomness. As you learn room combinations, you'll unlock new paths and solve overarching mysteries. The stylized low-poly visuals create a cozy yet eerie atmosphere where every detail, from overturned candles to caged hamsters, feels like a clue. With 91 out of 100 from critics, it's dangerously addictive. Jotunnslayer Hordes of Hel. Think Conquest Dark, but with better graphics, physics, and darker tone. Simple enough? Let me elaborate. You're a cursed soul trapped in Helheim, and the gods are offering redemption through trials. Slaughter hordes to become the chosen Jotunnslayer, proving your worth. Storytelling is environmental, no Hades-style endless dialogues, with short missions revealing lore about the 9 realms. Gameplay is Vampire Survivors meets Norse myth, isometric combat where you collect divine blessings from Odin, Skadi, or Njord. The key mechanic? Godly synergies. Pick a hero class, Berserker, Revenant, etc., and combine their skills with divine gifts. Njord's water attacks might freeze enemies when paired with Skadi's ice spears, like building a deck in a card game. One perfect combo and you're wiping screens clean. Visually, it's stunning for the genre, detailed arenas with fire/ice effects that might make it the best-looking game in this style. Sure, optimization hiccups happen, but who's perfect? Ocean Keeper, Dome Survival. Your spaceship crashes on a planet where oceans teem with monsters, and you're just a miner trying to survive. Explore underwater caves, gather resources, and fend off horrors while finding an escape. This roguelike mixes tower defense with top-down action. You pilot a mech spider, yes, really, mining caves before racing back to defend your base against waves. The core tension. Time management, dig deeper for rare artifacts or retreat to avoid losing everything. The vibrant underwater biomes and creepy caves look great, though the 2D miner model feels oddly simplistic. Released May 2nd, it's already gathering praise despite brutal difficulty spikes and optimization quirks. But once you find the rhythm, upgrading mechs, building turrets, it becomes weirdly compelling. Wuthering Waves. Alright, let's talk about Wuthering Waves, a dream come true for fans of stylish action RPGs. Imagine Genshin Impact but with faster combat, darker post-apocalyptic vibes, and way more aggressive character designs. You play as the Rover, a mysterious amnesiac wanderer who wakes up on Solaris 3, a world shattered by catastrophe. Humanity's barely hanging on, fighting monstrous creatures called Discords, and no, not the chat app. Of course, you're the chosen one, destined to uncover your past and save what's left of civilization. The story dumps lore and terminology on you early, but the version 2.0 update, released this January, streamlined things. New regions like Renasite help balance world building with actual pacing. Gameplay's an open-world action RPG with exploration and real-time combat. Run, climb, glide, then swap between 3 characters mid-fight to chain combos. The ecosystem is the real star, defeat enemies to collect their echoes which act as equipable skills. Summon a giant crab, morph into a monster for devastating attacks, it's like Pokemon meets build crafting. The right echo combo can turn you from average to unstoppable. Visually, anime as hell. Unreal Engine 4 delivers vibrant, detailed landscapes, perfect if you love that Genshin aesthetic but crave something grittier. Yes, Your Grace 2, Snowfall. Now, for Yes, Your Grace 2, Snowfall, releasing tomorrow, May 8th, as I record this, but we already know what to expect. It's a kingdom management RPG where you juggle resources, hear petitions from peasants and lords, and deploy agents. The big twist? A law and decree system. You're not just deciding who gets bread or the axe, you're writing policies that reshape the realm. Raise taxes to fund armies, ban hunting to please villagers, every choice impacts loyalty, economy, and even your family. Screw up, and rebellions happen. The 2.5D pixel art is gorgeous, with animations that bring the throne room to life, way prettier than the first game. Plus, it's fully translated, so no guessing at political drama.